Hi there, this is my very video blog. Never done one of these before, but I've seen quite a few on YouTube as I find YouTube quite a useful source of information, and everyone else seems to be doing these vlogs, so I thought I'd have a go. So I'll try and do as many as I can. Bear with me as this is my first one, so I'm not really sure what it's all about, but you know, I'll talk about things going on in my life and you know, cover various subjects such as moving house, social life, cars, etc, etc. I'm just leaving Swindon to head over to Hungerford to meet up with an old friend of mine that I haven't seen her in a long time, so we're just gonna have a drink in the pub and have a bit of a catch up. So it's a small trip down the M4 from Swindon. So I suppose I'll kick off about cars really. Had 25 years of BMWs, company cars and private purchases, and previous two cars have been E93s, which are the 335i convertibles. I've had quite a few convertibles. I've never really quite grown out of them, which, you know, some people might consider strange, bearing in mind I'm now middle-aged, but I just never grow tired of them. Current car is a 6 Series convertible, 640D, lovely engine in it. It's a 3-litre twin turbo, and for such a big car, because this 6 Series is a very long car, very wide car, it's the size of a battleship, but it gets down the road really quickly. 0 to 60 comes up in about 5.2, 5.3, but in economy mode, if I switch it from sport to economy, it gives me 50 to the gallon, which is pretty astonishing. That's about all I've got to say that's good about the car, apart from the equipment levels that are extremely generous with head-up display and self-parking, etc, etc. But I've got to say it's probably been the worst and most unreliable BMW that I've ever had, which is pretty shocking for a £73,000 car. Effectively, you know, it's had it since 2014 from new. It's coming up to 2 years and 9 months. So it's due for exchange in about 3 months' time. But I've had so much go wrong with it. Parking sensors have failed 3 times. Driver's seat frame fell apart, had to be replaced. It's now on its way out again. Heated seats packed up. Passenger windows packed up twice. That's been sorted. And again, it's playing up again. So effectively, that needs sorting out again. The list has been endless really. It's been in and out of the dealership about 12 times. It's only done 14,000 miles. My dealer, Dick Lover, BMW, have been fantastic. I mean, they fix the car whenever it develops a fault, but BMW UK I've been very disappointed with, because my dealer has tried to sort compensation payments from BMW for inconvenience, and BMW UK haven't been that cooperative. They waived 1 month's payment on the vehicle, which wasn't really brilliant, bearing in mind the number of times it's been into the dealership, and I've lost it for days at a time. Initially, they offered a voucher towards a new vehicle, and for me that's pretty shocking for customer service, because if they really cared, what they would have done is say, okay, we'll give you, you know, that. What they should have done was they should have said, okay, what are we going to do to put a smile back on the customer's face as a goodwill gesture for the vehicle he's currently driving, and then secondly, what are we going to do to make sure he remains loyal to the brand and orders another car from us? But they didn't really take that approach. So this car goes back in October, and so I'm now on the market for a new car. And generally with new cars, I tend to look around about 5-6 months in advance, because you need to source the deals, and that can take a while. I've been trying to get into Mercedes for about 6 years now. Basically, I've always been a lover of the Mercedes SLs, the big 2-seater roadsters. I don't really need 4 seats anymore, because all my divorces are out of the way and my daughter's growing up. So there's no real great need for the back seats in this. Not that there's a lot of room in them, but the only seats that really get used are the front seats. You know, if I'm out with a friend or something, or taking a lady friend out to dinner. Mercedes, very difficult to get into because their prices are not as competitive as BMW have been. When I looked 3 years ago, it boiled down to either a 6 Series or an SL, and the 6 Series, despite the fact the retail price was about the same, it was just, in terms of a 3-year deal, BMW were just miles ahead. So a couple of months ago I started to look around at cars again, narrowed it down to 4. Ford Mustang 5-litre convertible, Jaguar F-Type convertible, not the S model, just the basic one, and Porsche Boxster convertible, and of course the SL. So first place I looked at was effectively the Ford dealership. Went to Allen Ford in Swindon, and they had a 2.3 convertible in there in the showroom. A stunning looking car. It's one of the best looking cars on the road, I think, the Mustang. But yeah, when I spoke to the salesman, he just didn't seem interested at all, because I said to him, I'd really like to test drive a 5-litre. What can you do for me? And he said, we haven't got one. I said, well, can you get one in for me? No, there's none in the country, and it's a 1-year waiting list. So I said to him, all right, well, if one does come up, can you let me know, and can you email through some prices on a 3-year deal? Yeah, I'll do that, he said. But I never heard from him again. So up yours, Allen Ford. And as far as I'm concerned, if you can't get service before the sale from Ford, then what the hell's it going to be like after the sale? So that was that. I have to say though, with the Mustang, there was a couple of things I didn't really like about it. First of all, the equipment levels are quite stingy. I mean, there's not a lot you get with it. I know it's a muscle car and it's more of a sort of sports car than anything else, but even the options, there wasn't really a lot. You could have satellite navigation, you could have rear reversing camera. That was about it. No head-up display, no front parking sensors, nothing like that. No self-parking. No, it wasn't good. So the following weekend, I then went to the Jaguar showroom in Swindon. Went to look at the F-Type convertible. It was very quiet in there. There was only a sales guy and a receptionist, and the sales guy was great. He was really friendly, very chatty, and we discussed the vehicle, and he said, well, do you want to test drive? I said, yep, that'd be nice. He said, I got a white one parked outside, a convertible, why don't we take it for a spin? So that's what we did. So we took it for a drive, and lovely looking car, really nice to look at, really nice to sort of be sat in. But that's as far as it went for me, because it is an out-and-out sports car, and it was fast and furious, and even in comfort mode it was really noisy. Yeah, the exhaust popped, which is great to hear, but you don't want it all the time. And if you're going on a long distance drive, I'm not sure it's the most comfortable car in the world. The other thing I didn't like about it was it was very claustrophobic inside the cabin. Everything was really close to me, and I just felt some of the controls were a bit awkward to get at in this center console. So I kind of dismissed that. So the next vehicle was Porsche. So the following weekend, went over to the Porsche dealership in Swindon to look at the Porsche Boxster. Again, a great looking car. I mean, the new shape is absolutely fantastic. The guys in the Porsche showroom were really friendly, very cooperative, and they had a red one outside which they offered to take me out in. So we went out and I took it for a test drive. It was a red one, and it was great. I mean, it's mid-engined, it's stuck to the road like glue. It was a really nice car, but it had the same characteristics as the Jag. Again, even in comfort mode, it was quite a noisy car, and it just sort of bounced over every bump. But you know, that's it. It's a sports car, so you can't expect too much in the way of comfort or relaxed cruising. The other problem with the Porsche was it's very competitively priced at sort of mid-50s, 55, 56,000. But everything on it was an optional extra. I mean, if you wanted cup holders, sat nav, you know, park assist, it was all an optional extra. And by the time we bolted everything on to bring it up to the same spec as, say, the 6 Series, you know, it was another 15 grand. So I kind of dismissed that one. So that left the SL, and you know, having tried to get a competitive price on SL several times before, I didn't really hold up much hope. But I went to the Mercedes dealership, and they arranged to have one shipped down from Cheltenham. We then took it for a test drive, and God, I loved it. It was fantastic. I mean, for a middle-aged guy, it's a gentleman's cruiser. You know, it's a GT. It's not a sports car. It was very relaxed, very refined, very quiet. But if I want to turn it into something else, you know, put it into Sport Plus mode, and the suspension tightens up, the steering tightens up, the exhaust note changes, and it does become a sports car, and it pops nicely. So, you know, I had the best of both worlds from it. I really liked the car. The equipment levels are great as well. The only things that I really wanted to add to that was a boot lip spoiler, reversing camera, which it didn't have. It had self-parking. It had a lot of stuff which was already on the 6. So there was only a few bits and pieces I needed to add to it. The problem was that, again, the pricing from Mercedes was just crazy. It was just totally unrealistic. So I went away and I tried a few PCP companies, and you know, prices were better, they were cheaper, CarWow was okay, but still not the deal I was looking for. And then I found a back door into Mercedes totally by accident. An area of Mercedes I didn't know actually existed, but I found a contact, and I emailed the guy at Mercedes and said, look, I'm on the market for an SL, can you help? Give me some prices on a 3-year deal. And he said, yeah, sure. He said, you know, I did one for a guy the other week. So he sent through some prices. What I did was I configured the model I wanted on the Mercedes-Benz configurator and sent that reference number through to him. And yeah, he emailed the prices through, and I was at work at the time, and the email pinged through. And I have to say, when I opened up, I almost fell off my seat, because the prices were brilliant, absolutely spot on what I was looking for. So I rang him up and I said, okay, prices are great. I've added the VAT on, but can you resend the prices through with the VAT on? And he said, those prices do include the VAT. So I virtually fell off my chair again. And it's just fantastic, just exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, order is placed, and looking forward to receiving the vehicle. As I said, I've got to wait till October, so the car's been scheduled for an August build, and it will be delivered at the end of September and then delivered to me in October. It's the SL400, which is a 3-litre bi-turbo model, which is absolutely fine, because, you know, the reviews on YouTube from people have said the 400 is more than adequate. You don't need the 500 because the performance, although it's different and it's quicker, you're not really going to get a chance to use it on the roads. The 400 gives you everything you want, and there's an £8 difference between the two cars. And then, of course, if you go up to the SL63 or in the XL65, you're talking nearly another 100,000. So the SL400's going to be fine for me. It's quicker than the 6 Series. It's about the same 0-60 time as the Porsche and the Jag that I tested. So yeah, I'm really happy. Ordered in Polar White, and that should be here in October. And obviously I'll post on a log progress once I start to hear about the car being built in August, when they start sending through things like the serial number, etc., which is always fun. So yeah, we'll see what comes out. Anyway, I'm getting close to Hungerford now, where I'm going to see my friend Joanne, and so I'll sign off now. This is my first vlog. I will send another one out because I'm in the middle of moving house, and I'll talk about that next time. But thanks for watching. Take care.